If your portfolio looks like a medicine cabinet, you're probably an investor. But in today's market, it's not just about holding the big names like Pfizer or Johnson & Johnson. There's a whole world of smaller, lesser-known pharmaceutical companies out there, each with their own unique stories, risks, and, potentially, rewards. Maybe you're the type who likes to hunt for the next big thing, or maybe you're just curious about what's bubbling under the surface in the pharma sector. Either way, you've probably noticed that the world of pharmaceutical stocks is as complex and varied as the medicines themselves. From companies working on cutting-edge gene therapies to those tackling age-old problems like antibiotic resistance, the opportunities and the risks are everywhere. So, let's take a closer look at 5 pharma stocks you might not have heard of: CERO, ACXP, PCSA, Verve, and EYEN. Are they worth a spot in your portfolio, or should you steer clear? Let's dive in and find out. If you've never heard of CERO or ACXP, you're not alone. These aren't household names, and you won't see their commercials during the Super Bowl. But sometimes, the companies flying under the radar are the ones with the most potential for explosive growth, or of course, the most risk. The pharmaceutical industry is notorious for its high barriers to entry, long development timelines, and the ever-present threat of regulatory hurdles. But it's also an industry where a single breakthrough can change everything, both for patients and for investors. So, what exactly do these companies do, and why are some investors starting to pay attention? But should you add them to your watch list? Let's break it down. When you're considering a pharmaceutical stock, it's not just about the science, it's about the story. What unmet medical need are they addressing? How big is the potential market? What stage are their drugs in? Do they have enough cash to get through clinical trials? And perhaps most importantly, what are the chances that their treatments will actually make it to market? These are the questions that separate the winners from the also-rans in the world of biotech investing. So, let's take a closer look at each of these 5 companies, starting with CERO. First up, CERO, CervoMed. They're working on drugs for neurodegenerative diseases, and with an aging population, that's a big market. Neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's are some of the most devastating conditions out there, both for patients and their families. The need for effective treatments is enormous, and as the global population continues to age, that need is only going to grow. CervoMed is focusing on developing therapies that could slow or even halt the progression of these diseases, which would be a game changer for millions of people worldwide. Their lead candidate is currently in early-stage clinical trials, and while the results so far are promising, it's still a long road ahead. The company is betting that its unique